Good morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. There's big news with regards to a transfer, but for those that like to go to away games, Celtic will love the fact that they're going to Falkirk as an away game, but maybe not, because it looks like that Falkirk have put out that they made an announcement that away fans are only going to get 749 tickets. 749 tickets. Unbelievable. But it is what it is. If they have sold season tickets, Falkirk FC ticket information for the season 25-26. Just get to the bit for the away fans. I mean, they've sold out quite a lot of season tickets. Around 500 unreserved seats for Falkirk fans. I'll just see, donating your seat, buying tickets, disabled support. Yeah, they've sold 5,700 season tickets, which is pretty damn good, you've got to be honest, for Falkirk. I can remember there's times that we've went to Falkirk before, a long time ago obviously, when they were in the SPFL, and they never had nowhere near that amount of season tickets. So be it. We have been saying that, someone was saying on the channel the other night, Mo, about local fans supporting their local clubs. Well, Falkirk fans have done that in big numbers. 5,700 season tickets have been sold. The 7th highest total in Scotland. There you go. Falkirk are now ranking themselves as the 7th highest club in Scotland. Oh, man. With their 3 stands. It is another stadium that's... It's fucking terrible, isn't it? I mean, it's just 3 separate stands. Scottish football just is... It's just a letdown when it comes to stadia. When you look at some of the 15,000 seaters, 10,000 seater stadiums that Celtic have played at over the years, I can even remember going to Malmo, and that was a small stadium, but it was a cracking little stadium. You know, it was a full rounded stadium. Jeez, it is what it is. Right, let's get into the Celtic transfer news before we talk about Casper Schmeichel. Celtic's had a bid of £6.9 million rejected from Cluj. Yep, they want a lot more. According to sources, the Romanian club want 10 million more for the player. There's a couple of clubs have declared an interest. Celtic have went in for an offer, allegedly, and it's declared that they want £15 million. £15 million for the player. You've got to say, club, we do it to other clubs. You know, we buy players in on the cheap, and if Celtic really want the player, they're just going to have to pay the money, unfortunately. Or will it be the case that Brendan Rodgers is slowly but surely coming down the list of first choice targets this season? And he'll say, look, it's, you know, clubs change their mind and clubs put prices up, and it's the modern day. If we want £25 million, if we want more than 25 for Daizen Maeda, you know, they've got every right to want top money for their player. It's swings and roundabouts, you know. We can't go out and buy every single player on the cheap. Well, you can, but then they're not the standard. The Romanian under-21 international is wanted by a number of clubs, and they've said that they've reportedly turned down offers from Rennes, Lille, Nice, who are also monitoring the situation. Now, Rennes have just sold our ex-striker that we sold to them for 10 million, and they thought he was pish. Putting it bluntly, first thing in the morning, and they got rid of him quite quick. So it shows you, you know, it is it's all about perspective. And I wonder if Celtic will go in with another offer, or will they turn to another target. The fact that this has come out that Celtic have put in this offer and it has been rejected. We all know that Brendan Rodgers does want more firepower. The fact that we're just about to announce on Monday our little guy from Japan who's coming in at 1.2 million, is that really a Brendan Rodgers signing? You've got to start asking yourself now, which is Brendan Rodgers signings and which aren't. Because if we're going for a striker and we're putting in offers a 6.9 million, I would suggest that that's a Brendan Rodgers signing. Going for the guys from Japan again, is that really a Brendan Rodgers signing, or is it something that obviously the board, Tisdale have looked at, and the recruitment staff, and they're making decisions over and above Brendan Rodgers' head? Just putting it out there. Brendan Rodgers is meant to be in charge of all football things, but Paul Tisdale's in charge of the football department. That's weird. It's a weird setup that Celtic will have. But anyway, I'm sure it'll all come good between now and the end of the season. I'm ecstatic the way that we played the other night. It's a big test tomorrow against Newcastle United. Newcastle United will come to town playing their second pre-season friendly. Will they be up to speed? Can Celtic grab all 3 points? They're bringing a big, massive crowd of 10,000 fans, which means they'll take up quite a big bit of that end of the stadium, and I'm sure they'll make the noise to go with it. I can't see Celtic fans out singing them this weekend, that's for sure. I don't think that Celtic will even fill the stadium at all. The fact that Celtic are now showing it on Celtic TV, they're like, crap, fans aren't going to turn up, so we'll give them it on Celtic TV and we'll try and get them that way. But we've all got fire sticks. Anyway, Casper Schmeichel. Let's get on to Casper. And Casper Schmeichel is going to be our number one goalkeeper this season. I think we're in good hands. We're definitely in good hands when it comes to the goalkeeping department. Casper Schmeichel was a top level goalkeeper who replaced Joe Hart. Joe Hart was a top level goalkeeper. And I'm not worried about the future of the goalkeeping department, because in Sinisalo we have a player that is more than capable of taking over from Casper Schmeichel. But he's declared, yes, Casper Schmeichel has declared when he leaves Celtic. Well, if this is now throwing things up in the air, isn't it? Because he's declared he won't be retiring anytime soon. As he enters in his final year, oh, Jesus, don't do it, Celtic. Just give Sinisalo the job. You know what Celtic are like. They're going to offer Casper another friggin' year, aren't they? Anyway, the Celtic goalkeeper Casper Schmeichel has declared that he won't be retiring anytime soon. He is in the final year of his contract, and he intends to keep on playing. He's going to go back home. He has always said that he would like to go back home and play football, because he's spent the majority of his career, and it makes for a good headline. Do you know? It does make for a good headline. Do you know? I've done everything and I'm not going to retire. Celtic fans are like, oh fuck, thinking about that little mistake where it hits off the underside of his hand and goes in, and I still say that's because he wasn't match fit. He was fit, but he wasn't match fit. Sinisalo was more match fit at the time. But anyway, he said there's still a lot to accomplish. I haven't done everything, Casper said. He says, I just love playing football. I'm living what I've always dreamed and doing since I was a kid, watching his dad doing it for Manchester United, who also got beat by Celtic one time, but there we go. He cherishes every single day. Schmeichel appreciates his position in the world of football, and he acknowledges the sacrifices he's made to reach this point. And it's true. Young football players make a lot of sacrifices, and it's a little nod to fans. You know, we give younger players a lot of stick. You get on their backs and you say they're not good enough and all the rest of it. But these are young people that have had this dream since they were 6, 7, 8 of playing football, and their parents have gone through a lot to make sure that they go to training sessions, and you know, they go through the ranks, and they're the unseen heroes of football players. Every parent out there is an unseen hero of a football player, because without the parents and without everything that they went through, do you know, they're doing their 9-to-5 job, they're working shifts, they're doing whatever. Apart from Casper Schmeichel, obviously, he was a football player. But in general, parents of footballers and young kids that are footballers that go through the system and get to 19, 20, 21 and maybe don't make it at Celtic, do you know, they've got parents and they see the abuse that some younger players get online. And do you know, it must be heartbreaking for them. And I think sometimes that social media is such a nasty place, because you guarantee you wouldn't say that to the young guy's face. You wouldn't walk up to them in the street and go, you're fucking shite, mate, and you shouldn't be at Celtic. If you would, you're a prick. On it this morning, aren't we? But anyway, Casper says, I cherish every single day. He loves the sport, and he's matched by his commitment to maintaining the winning culture at Celtic. As long as I love being a part of the club, and the culture is so driven by winning all the time, it really motivates me every single day to get up to make sure we uphold those standards and strive for more. Never mind talking about fucking history, and never mind talking about God-given rights and marching and shit. You know, it's all about continuous improvement and keeping on winning, and that's what Celtic have done for the last 25 years. It's just won. We just win. And we've maybe got a little bit used to it. Never at any point but one injury can end your career at this stage. He remains focused and contributing to a successful team. He's also about being here, contributing every single minute. The only way to do that is to be part of a winning team. He has said in other interviews that he has one burning desire. He has one burning desire to return home and play football and finish his days in his home nation. Because believe it or not, he's never played in his home nation. And when you think about it, you know, he was at loan at Falkirk when he was a kid, and I can remember him being on loan at Falkirk and thinking, I wonder how good that guy's going to be. Is he going to be as good as his dad? Should Celtic maybe make a move for him? But we never. And he went on to have a half-decent career. But anyway, he's at Celtic now. He's part of a winning team. Will he win the treble this season? That is the target for us. As James Forrest enters into the last season of his official contract, will James Forrest be given another contract extension to stay at Celtic beyond this year? A lot of people say yes, he should. And he can, because if you look at him, he just keeps on going. He will be used sparingly over the season. He's not going to start every single game, so you could use him next year, couldn't you? We'll see how injuries go this year with him, but he might want to take a step back. Celtic may offer him a position in the backroom staff. You never know. But as a player, I think James Forrest could go on forever. And just make sure that he puts himself that far out there that no one will be able to break the record that James Forrest will hold for amassing trophies at Celtic. And to think about that we're living through that is a phenomenal... We are so lucky. People need to step back and just sit down and put your coffee down this morning and go, we used to think of greats as Lisbon Lions, and everything that they did. And all the trophies that they won, the 9 in a row and everything. But we're living through our own legend. They spoke about Bruni being captain, leader, legend. He just touched the sides, didn't he? I mean, he's nowhere near James Forrest. I think when Scott Brown walks past James Forrest, now he should bow. I think every player should. It's hail Jamesy. Hail Jamesy. He's just a fantastic player. Anyway, will Celtic bring in a big money signing striker? Tell us in the comments. It's an interesting one. It shows you that, Brendan Rodgers has said that we are in the market for another striker. It's getting fun in games time, isn't it? It is getting fun in games time. Anyway, make sure you join us for... Will we be live later on? Yes, definitely. If there's any updated news. And it's all looking towards the game tomorrow. Will it be the war of the managers? The manager in the Newcastle dugout is the manager that turned down Celtic before Ange Postecoglou came to town. I wonder what kind of reception he'll get at Celtic Park tomorrow. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.